Again, this starts when? This doesn't start when you're 25.
Most of the people who teach college writing don't know anything about what goes on in high school classrooms. And they have really a very underdeveloped concept of what students know when they come into a college classroom.
Too often, teaching is something that is done in isolation, and it's between teacher and students, and I close my door, and that's the end of it. The instructional rounds works to create partnership between schools and their higher ed partners.
The idea of instructional rounds is to get high school teachers and college teachers together to talk about how to develop curricula that really speaks to the issues of particular schools. The more teachers on both sides, on the college side and on the high school side, come to know what each of them does in the classroom, the more students will learn things that make sense as they cross the bridges.
Instructional rounds is actually a process, a strategy to engage teachers from high schools as well as college faculty in conversations about their practice, what it is they do in their classrooms. There are visits where instructors go into each other's classes and they look for evidence of what is happening in that classroom and have conversations and do an analysis of what it is they're seeing.
The instructional rounds are kind of like in a hospital when doctors do instructional rounds. And then at the end, they come together, they talk about things, they talk about where mistakes are, where they can change procedures, change policies.
Professors from Temple University came to Roxborough and came into all of our classrooms and watched what we do with the kids and how we interact with the kids and what daily operations are like in the high school classroom.
We really sit down with high school teachers and we look at the assignments they've designed and we give feedback about how well those assignments are pitched to help students meet the expectations we have so that we're actually talking about teaching, sharing ideas, best practices.
They were very intrigued by the fact that our students are used to this very rigid structure.
The college faculty were really surprised to hear that there was such a highly structured lesson plan at the high school. I think that the high school faculty were remembering and reminiscing, oh yeah, college was a lot more sort of free and open in terms of sharing ideas and thinking.
When we went into their classrooms and saw the natural ebb and flow of what's going on there, it shed a lot of light on what we need to be doing to get students to a point where they feel more independent and a little more responsible for their own learning.
There's a lot to learn. I think high school teachers have a lot to tell us about pedagogy, and we have a lot to share with them about what's happening in higher education. So I think that there's really an opportunity here just because we're talking, and we never get the opportunity to do that.
This is an annual meeting where we bring teachers from our schools, and there are 4 of them, as well as faculty from our 2-year and 4-year college, Temple University and Community College of Philadelphia, as well as some of our community partners together.
We're going to be looking at what our goals are for the year in high school and comparing those to where the kids need to be when they enter college and trying to figure out exactly what the gap is.
They will be looking at how goals and objectives for learning are set in high school and what that looks like, and then looking at the same through the lens of higher education.
One of the things I see in the high school assignment also is that part of it deals with persuasion and argument, but there's also another part that deals with like figurative language and description. Those two things need to be separated because a lot of the college classes are going to expect for students going to be working with students.
They also will be looking then at lessons because those goals and objectives translate into lessons. So looking at the assignments that are given.
I think this is probably the first time these college instructors have had high school teachers say, you know, I'm looking at this writing assignment and I think it would need some changes for my students to have success with it. This is just a conversation we don't get to have. Frankly, we don't even have it with each other enough.
We were able to look at assignments that college professors have given, and then looked at some of the assignments that we've given. And what are some of the gaps in the way we're asking students to perform? And in addition to that, we also looked at lesson planning.
So we're talking a lot about high school teachers kind of lifting students up so that they're ready for college. And we've been thinking a lot about, well, can we reach down with an open hand so that we catch them?
All right, thanks, guys.
This is all about the young people in these schools and helping them realize their hopes and dreams for the future and for their families. So that's something that's extremely rewarding. They have the aspirations. They need help in seeing the path to get there. And I have every confidence that with the right supports, they will be successful.
In my estimation, instructional rounds is an educational initiative that really is doing people on both sides some good.
It's a community development strategy. It is about individual students, it's about families, it's about communities, it's about cities, and really positioning students in ways that are different from what we have now.
Whenever I do this, I walk away thinking, why aren't we doing this all over the country all the time?